So I'd seen this yellow Mach 1 for sale on a local Facebook group, and it was about 5 hours away from me. And I kept an eye on it, and I thought, man, that's a really nice car. It's decently low miles, 125,000, but for the price, it looked like a really nice car. And I kept thinking about it, and I let time go on, and I'd look back and see it was still for sale, and I finally decided that I'd, like to own the car. So I called the guy and we started talking back and forth, and we agreed on a decent price because he was about to go trade it in at the dealership. So I took a shuttle. Here's some cool pictures of me on the shuttle, going about 5 hours north to go get the car. And I decided I was going to take a shuttle up, meet the guy at the international airport, and because that's where the shuttle went. And then I was going to have him pick me up, and then I'd buy the car and drop him off and bring the car home with me. Looking out the window, I took this picture of a red 96 to 98 GT that's always parked on the freeway there at a little house. I see it every time I go by, so I grabbed my camera real quick and took a picture just for fun. But anyway, here I am in the shuttle, and I put this picture on my Instagram saying, took another shuttle to buy another Mustang, what is it? And everyone had a fun time guessing. So here I am at the baggage claim at the airport where it was warm inside waiting, and I sat here outside and waited for him to show up. I was excited as usual. Every time I buy a Mustang it's really exciting, but also a little nervous, and I recorded him the first time I saw him. I love the first time I see a car when I go to buy a car, so here's a video of the first time I saw it.
Alright guys, there it is. First time I get to see it.
So I had him pick me up, and we just drove a little bit down the road here to downtown Salt Lake City, and just parked in front of some business, looked the car over, and signed the title and everything, signed the bill of sale, and I took the car and was on my way. I brought a couple of bags of tools with me, a tool kit, a jug of distilled water in case the radiator was low, a quart of oil. And it was good that I brought those tools as well, because I went and visited my friend who had that dark shadow gray Mach 1 that was just wrecked, because the bullet he had there was going to be towed away in a couple days, and it had a lot of good parts on it. So I got everything I could off of it, and he even traded me the spoiler off his Mach 1. He decided he was going to part it out because my spoiler was cracked. But anyway, I took the drive home. This is passing through Payson. This is the Payson temple for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and my family actually settled this town and were some of the early pioneers in this area, so it was really fun to go through and see them. And I've been inside this temple before. I had some family members married there, and I even got to go through the open house when they were about to dedicate it. So it was real fun to stop by the temple and see that beautiful site. I wanted to go in, but I didn't have time. I just had to get home. So here's a beautiful drive home through Utah with the mountains and everything, with still some snow on them and everything. And I went to this little gas station that was out in the middle of nowhere, and had a good time just turning the car off, looking it over, making sure that the fluids were all topped off and that everything was good. And the car performed beautifully. It was nice just to start it right up and continue on. So here's a couple pictures I took at this little gas station. It had a really nice view with a big parking area, and so I really liked that. It was the first time I actually got to see the car for a few minutes, because I've been driving it home the whole time. So I got back, and here's Danny Johnson, who was nice enough to bring his Mach 1 down and park it in a Wendy's parking lot. Well, we took my Mach 1 over, got my car, my other red Mach I left at the shuttle place, and came back. So as we were driving it back on the highway with the red one, we decided just to do a third gear pull with them at kind of a lower speed, just so the cars could go through the RPM range. You could see the differences, see if the car's running right. So here's a little video of that.
Third.
So this is about the outcome I expected. You know, the yellow one has long tube headers, a throttle body, and an intake, so it should have pulled a little bit on the 04. And so we got the car home to my house, and immediately one of my little boys ran out and was excited to jump inside and start playing it and pretend to drive it and shift the gears. Then we got going downtown, and we decided just to go down the main boulevard in town where we like to cruise with our cars. And Danny Johnson and I like to park and just watch the cars go by, see what cars are in town, and it's kind of the social area to hang out. And our buddy's white Mach 1 went by, so we told him to come back, and we hung out for a little bit. And Danny Johnson recorded all this and put it on his YouTube channel, so I'll put a link to his channel with that video in the description. Anyway, so I took the car home that night, and this is one of my favorite places to take pictures with my cars. And I just parked it under the street light and enjoyed the nice smooth idle and enjoyed this beautiful car. The gauges are all nice at night and everything. And so the next day I let my wife drive the car around and practice stick shift a little bit in it. And we went to a park, and I found the window sticker in the glove box. And my family and I just enjoyed the car for the day. It was just real fun to have a new car and go places in it. So here's a couple of pictures of what the car's like. The interior is in really good shape. For the mileage, the seats are just awesome. They always have that little bolster wear on them where you get in and out of them, but the back seats are wonderful. The Comfort Weave still has the ribbing in it. And so anyway, the car just catches your eye every time you look over at it if it's parked out. I traded the headlights for some stock OEM ones, and then I pulled all the Mach 1s out for a big photo shoot. And there's my Torch Red and my Azure Blue with it, and it was just fun to get them together. And the yellow really complements the other two. And somebody had commented on my Instagram and said, "Hey, you got the primary colors." And yeah, so now I'm just enjoying to take care of the car and address some of the small things that it needs. It is 16 years old, and it's going to have a couple things it needs, but the tweeters weren't working at all on it, and my whole drive home was kind of boring. I played my cell phone in the cup holder for music because the speakers just sounded terrible, and the guy told me that the speakers had never worked since he owned it in 2012. So I started taking it apart, and I was really glad that I stopped and got those parts from the wrecked Bullet, because I got all the speakers and the tweeters. And with the Mach 460 audio system, those are very special to the car, and they're they work in a certain way. And so I had taken the door panels off and dropped the Mach 460 deck out of the car, and that deck right there on the ground, that whole box with the amps on it, is out of the Bullet. It's the extra one, but I took it all apart, I swapped the amps around, and I figured out that the tweeters were all blown. So I just took the tweeters all out of the supply that I got from that Bullet, and the door speakers here were one of the main problems, because the bottom ones play mostly bass, and you can see they had replaced them with these aftermarket ones down there, and that made it so that it wasn't playing right and it was all muffled. But once I got that all back together, it sounded perfect. Alright guys, figured it out. So I had some stereo problems. I had these aftermarkets. I had some extra tweeters too. So yeah, it came with these aftermarket things, and they just weren't hitting right. And I had some extra Mach 460 parts, amps and everything, and that tweeter wasn't working, and that, I don't know if it's because this was overpowered with this little one. These have a big sub on the back of them. These are high power, so yes, I'm excited. It wasn't working. And now the car just, drives fine anyway. But here's a couple of pictures, and I'm just starting to enjoy this car. But anyway, thanks for watching. This is just a little update of the yellow Mach 1 and a little story about it, a little information. Please subscribe to the channel, give it a thumbs up, and keep this channel growing. I have a lot of content like this I'm excited to share.